Hey, what's going on to the best friends and family on YouTube? So, the part that has made me rip apart my SVT Lightning has finally arrived. And it's that guy right there. This is a Lightning Force Performance aftermarket intercooler. Some guy reached out to me on the forums after I posted what my problem was. He's like, hey, I got one for sale that has like 500 miles on it. It was like an interim solution waiting on his Whipple. And I basically got it for bang on half after I paid customs and duties for this thing. So instead of paying $1,200, I paid $550 for it on my stool. So delivered on my stool, $550. So in this episode, I'm going to go ahead and take this guy off here. This is a cleaning brush for dishes from IKEA, and I just want to say it works phenomenal on engine parts. Just wanted to mention that. Usually I clean up after myself, but I've been using these tools so often that it only makes sense to leave them there. So this is going to be my workbench. For the time being, I'm going to clean up a little more and unbolt this guy from the bottom, inspect it more because it definitely does have a leak in it. And yeah, I'm just looking at the coating off the rotor, so I'm going to have to think of something to do with that. I'm going to put it on as is because a lot of guys say it's not, like, obviously it's not ideal, but it's not going to be a detrimental issue to the thing. So obviously I'm going to run it how it is right now. I chipped off all the loose parts off the rotor. So again, I shouldn't have a big issue with it if this is what it produced over 25 years. But let's go ahead and take this one out. It's just held in by a bunch of hardware at the bottom. And I think I did see a crack in the cast end tank there. So let's go ahead and rip this guy off and see how the new one fits. Before I dive into this, I'm going to look up, well, I already looked up, as you guys can tell, the intercooler to mid-plate bolts. Someone must have been doing speech to text. But that's intercooler to mid-plate, and it's 53 inch-pounds, so that's what I'll be doing. All right, so here are the two, basically side by side. I am noticing a difference with the plate here. This is thicker, so I'm going to have to see if the bolts will go through the mid plate okay without, punching a hole through it somewhere. These are supposed to be bigger. I guess there's a, coolant gets hung up here on these collars. So these are bigger. Overall, it's just supposed to be a better unit for cooling. So, it's an upgrade. It's not a huge upgrade, but it is nonetheless an upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead, clean that guy out really good, mount this, and just look at that one to see where the leak was. Like I already showed you in one of my videos where I think it is, and looking at it, it does look like a fairly large crack. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean that guy out and then mount this. And then we're going to inspect that one. All right, so she's cleaned up a lot better than what she was. I'm still going to give it a little bit of air. Now, the bolts that need to bottom out. That's kind of what I figured. So, A-okay to install the new one on this thing. Plus there's a gasket, plus there's a plate. So this is plenty. I'm going to go ahead and just give it one more once over, spray it with some air, clean a bit of this up, and then this thing is just going to be good to go to install back into the truck once we get a little bit of other parts here. All right, folks, new intercooler is on. The graphite gasket that I'm not a huge fan of is on, but the factory one from Ford is also a graphite gasket. So that makes me feel a wee bit better. Yeah, I'm just going to torque it. I'm going to torque it to 25 inch-pounds and then whatever I said before. I think it was 56 foot-pounds. or not foot-pounds, that would destroy this thing, 56 inch-pounds. So I'll do it in intervals. I'm going to start here and just work my way out. And then, yeah, so twice, we'll go 25 and then 56 inch-pounds. Correction, 53 inch-pounds. You also got to be careful because I sliced my finger on this gasket, cleaning it up, actually right there. And it just took the finger off of the latex, but it also did give me a cut. So be careful, guys. There she is. This is what caused all my issues. It's done. However, I'm doing so much more. I'm the type, obviously, that once you're in, you're in. And you did better damn well do everything you can to make this thing the best that you can. And the best looking that you can, etc., etc., etc. Of course, with what you have. Next video will comprise of the coolant lines. I'll be redoing those myself. I bought some really nice hoses for that. It's a common failure point with like 1,800 fittings, of course. Really, there's 4 fittings. But these hoses do fail, and with the supercharger on, they're a pain in the butt to fix. So yeah, I will be doing the heater hoses. I'll also be doing the O-rings that connect to this coolant hard pipe. Apparently, it's a common issue. My truck has no signs of it leaking, but it's one of those things that, you know, Murphy's Law kind of falls under, that you put everything back together and it starts leaking, and then you got to take it all apart to replace 2 $36 O-rings, if you can imagine that. They're 18 bucks a piece at cost for me. That's with my discount. And yeah, it's just absolutely bonkers in my opinion. But anyway, that's what was leaking. I filled the old one up with water. I don't think I'm going to be able to find the leak that way just because it didn't leak while it was sitting. It only leaked when the truck was running with the heat and the pressure from the supercharger. So like I said, I think that crack that I found is the culprit. When it's warm, it's opening up, letting coolant out. This one does not have that problem. This is all aluminum welded, nice upgraded, you know, intercooler that should last the life of the truck. Yeah, I'm just taking it all in, looking at all the plugs that I don't know what are for. There's only a couple that I see, but I do have a lot of video on here that'll help me with that. It's just one of those things you look at it as it's a mountain. But we'll get there and we'll get it done. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Check out other videos on the channel. And subscribe if you like what you see. All right, everybody. Peace.